Hi, this is Dea, and this is a short video explaining how to set up GV STRATUS and iNews integration. The first thing you need to do is go to the Stratus control panel. Within the rundown section, you can set up a number of parameters that will allow Stratus to find the iNews MOS gateway. So you have the XMOS server, which is the host name of the machine where the XMOS, the Grass Valley XMOS is running. Most of the time, that's the Stratus core server. The MOS ID, and you can use this one as a sample, gv.stratus.mos, is an identifier that allows both iNews and Stratus to work together in generating placeholders. NCS ID is the name of your iNews server. NCS MOS server is the actual MOS gateway, the host name of the MOS gateway, and the MOS version you can set up as the latest 282. Once you've done that, you can launch the XMOS, and that will take up all of those parameters as saved on the Stratus control panel. The next thing you need to do is configure the iNews MOS gateway in order to work with GV Stratus. So you need access to the iNews MOS gateway, the machine where the MOS gateway like this one is running, and you need to navigate to a specific path in C program files, avid iNews MOS gateway. You will locate there the mosconfig.xml, and this file that you can open with Notepad in order to edit has a number of very specific fields that you need to edit and change so that the iNews MOS gateway and Stratus can work together. For full instructions on those fields, you can get yourself to the Stratus topic library and locate the topic setting up iNews for GV Stratus Rundown. So there you will specifically see those fields that need to be changed, such as the NCS ID, which is the actual name of the iNews server. Also, host is the name of the iNews server specifically, and you can continue going down and locate other fields such as MOS, which is your MOS ID. You remember we set it to be gv.stratus.mos, so you enter that also on this document. AMCP and network, they are all of those fields that need to be set up according to the table that you will find on our topic library. So once you have edited all of those fields on that XML file, simply save the file, close it off, and reinitialize the iNews MOS gateway. You'll probably need to enter a password for replication, and all is up and running again. That set up the XML file within the iNews MOS config. Now you need to set up the iNews server itself to monitor rundowns on the GV Stratus environment. In an iNews client, you need to log on as a user with administrative rights and go to the system.mos map. That's the first spot where we're going to make some changes. So over here, we're going to enter a new entry for our Stratus MOS ID. You may remember that we made it gv.stratus.mos. That's what is going to identify the MOS ID with the Stratus set of devices. Once that's done, you save this entry, and then you get yourself to system.map. Over here, we need to enter Stratus as a video device. So you can use one of the samples over here, for example, MOS gateway example. That's exactly the format in which we would have to enter our MOS device, in this case Stratus, in order to send rundowns when you turn monitor on, in order to send those to our Stratus system. So you can use this as a sample and copy paste or simply replicate like I've done over here. So MOS server is the MOS gateway. So this is the actual host name of the MOS gateway we just pointed to and configured. And the second line that you enter is the MOS device itself. In our case, it's going to be called Stratus because that's exactly how we called it on our MOS map earlier. The difference that you will notice between some of these lines and the lines that we have over here is that they're not commented out. So you can see that they don't have a semicolon, meaning that they are going to be active. Also, be sure that all of those rundowns that you want to activate the monitor on, such as the shows at 6 a.m., or in our case, we're going to use the training show. So right at the top of this file, I have the training show without the semicolon. It means that I can actually turn the monitor on within that rundown. One more point to notice on this file, you have to make sure that Stratus, the video device in this case, it is Stratus, is actually the first one on that MOS list. If you have, for example, a CG or another MOS device that you're actually sending content to from iNews, make sure that they are below the Stratus line. And this is one of the ways that iNews works. The video device also must be first on that MOS list. Once you edited your MOS map, your system.map, you now need to add the relevant MOS fields to the story form and the rundown queue form. For that, I would like you to refer again to our topic library, where you will find a topic called Configuring iNews for Monitor On. As well as what we just covered, the system MOS map and the system map, you will find step by step each of the fields that have to be added to the story form and the rundown queue form, and all the parameters that specifically have to be added to each of those fields. Now in iNews, you find those forms under the Forms queue over here. So specifically for the story form, you go under S. There it is, and you can edit that. And also for the rundown queue, you get yourself to R, you open the rundown, and you can edit all of those fields by right-clicking and adding new fields. So once you've done all of that, you can go on to testing functionality. The first thing that I'd like to try is to make sure that the Stratus plugin is currently running, and I can open it inside the iNews application. So you go to Tools, Plugins, and you will find the Stratus plugin over there. The plugin will open and will be available if Stratus has been installed on that machine, on the client where iNews is running. And so there it is. There is my Stratus plugin up and running within the iNews client. Next, I'm going to create a story. I'm going to get myself to the training rundown show, because you may remember that we set it up on the system.map as one of those rundowns that I wanted to monitor. So I'm going to open this rundown, and I can see I have a number of stories over there. And I'm going to first of all create a new story. And I'm going to call this Configuring iNews. Now I just want to link a placeholder, a MOS placeholder, with my text in iNews so that I can have video and text working together. And that's really going to test that integration for me. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly change the workspace here in Stratus so that I can have the ALP, the assignment list plugin. This is showing me a whole set of placeholders that were created at some stage, and it tells me those that are ready, associated with some video, and those that are waiting to be edited still, and they show up as not ready. You can create placeholders from either iNews by auto-creating placeholder or from the ALP, but for the purposes of testing simply this integration and then making sure that everything works, all I'm going to do is just going to take a video that's already edited and associated with the placeholder and drag and drop to the story. So once that's done, I can see that this has been associated with the text. I can see over here the event title is the actual title 30 Selena, the same as my placeholder over here in Stratus. So I can already see I'm dragging and dropping from the Stratus plugin over to iNews, associating the placeholder. This is now a ready story, ready to go on air. So my last test will be to make sure that I can monitor this rundown, and I can see it on the GV Stratus rundown. So I'm just going to go to Tools, Monitor, and over here I have the Avid MOS 4 entry that we created before in the MOS map. I'm going to quickly load. And when that is loaded, I should be able to come to the GV Stratus rundown, drop down over here, and see, as I can see, that the show training rundown is MOS active, and I can download it or open it up on the Stratus rundown tool. And again, you can see the stories that are ready, and the 30 Selena video was the one that I just associated with my story created in the previous step. So there you have it. That's a configuration and a quick test for functionality with Stratus and iNews integration.